What's going on, everybody? This is Dan Goodman of the Business of Strength podcast. If you hear loud banging and beeping on the line, it's because our driveway in Orangeburg is getting paved. I didn't realize it was happening today. I had podcasts on the schedule, so the podcast is getting done. I'll make sure that I'm as clear and concise as possible, but I want to talk about something that has been coming up quite a bit. And it's something that I was doing right before the show. So every Friday, I always put together our meeting pulses and agendas for the upcoming week. I'll do my ideal schedule for next week, and then it transitions right to the meeting pulses. And the beauty of our meeting pulses is they follow the same structure week in, week out. We measure the same exact things. The same contributing people are in those meetings. They are extremely repeatable, right? And if it's repeatable, it's memorable. If it's memorable, it's repeatable, vice versa. And at this stage in our business, I'm not in all those meetings, but the other people running those meetings, they follow a very similar routine. They get prepared on Fridays or Saturdays for the upcoming week's meeting agenda. We follow the same pulse. It lives on Google Drive. Anybody that's in those meetings gets shared access to that file so that they can reference the meeting. And obviously somebody's typing away so that any things that come up, any metrics that are getting measured, people can reference those as guidelines as their week progresses on. And I was having a conversation yesterday with a gym that's in the mastermind group, the SYP group. And they were feeling like, hey, I don't know if I'm a good leader. I don't know how to set up my meetings. How much is too much? Like, who should be there? What should we be measuring? Who should be contributing? And it's like, hang on, hold up. You have team members, the satisfaction's pretty high because people have been there a while. So don't beat yourself up, one. But two, let's just start with the first one. Let's start with the first thing. And as it pertains to the show here, let's just give an example of, let's say you have a gym with 150 clients and you have 3 full-time team members or 2 full-time team members. There's a lot of communication that's going to happen just on the floor or with a small team, but there still needs to be focused time with no distractions where you are measuring the same shit week in and week out. And if I had a facility like that, we would get together as a collective every Monday, and we would talk about the same exact things. We would have a sales huddle. What happened with the consults last week? How many consults do we have booked for this week? What is our member attrition percentage? How many people are leaving and why? What are we doing to exceed the expectation on the training floor this week? And I would go over those things every single Monday. In a restaurant, it's that's your reservation book. Who's coming in, right? What food are we serving these people? What are our specials? It's the same thing in the gym business. And every Monday, I'd be reviewing those things. Okay. Every Wednesday, I'd be having a specific coaches meeting that's totally product focused and totally client experience focused. So it's client issues, anything injury report, anything programming, anything about exercise index or installation or review. That's where we would hang our reach outs to clients, our cards to clients, our discretionary spend, athlete or adult in the month. That would all live on Wednesdays. Then, if you do have a general manager or facility leader, you need a standing 15-minute conversation that's almost a clear the air conversation. And you could have certain metrics, certain questions. Ours are all, the same every single week, but I meet with Big Mike in Orangeburg. We like to meet on Mondays because we want to be ahead of the week. And we meet for 15 minutes every Monday before that huddle meeting. All right, we call it a leadership team meeting. We meet for 15 minutes before that. Okay. And that would be my meeting schedule, right? It would be a 15-minute stand up with my facility leader. It would be a 30-minute to 1 hour huddle, like leadership huddle up. And it would be a 30-minute to 1 hour coaches meeting, right? Like coaches meeting specific about client experience, exercise index, programming, attrition percentage. Although the attrition percentage gets measured in that coaches meeting. And you think about it, it's like, is that enough? Well, they're like with a small team, like you're going to be communicating all the time, but in person, I would, if I had 150 clients and 2 to 3 team members, it would be 15 to 20 minutes with my facility leader on Monday or Friday. It would be 30 minutes to 1 hour with the leadership team, right? That's somebody that owns the responsibility of a department, say sales department, the head coach, marketing, like they're in that. And then Wednesdays would be my coaches, like, and obviously it's a cultural thing to like enforce that everybody's there. But if somebody can't be there, then they get the notes from the from that meeting. They get maybe the PowerPoint, maybe a video recording. And we want to make sure we're progressing the education side of the whole entire staff, the whole entire team. And those would be my 3 meetings every single week. We do a Slack check-in every Friday, which is a roundup of the week to let, you know, how did the week go? Everybody participates in that. But you think about it, it's like, wow, that when you break it down like that, it doesn't seem like that much time. No, it's not, but it's the most important thing that we do in our week. It keeps people on the same page. It clears the air. Communication lines are clean. And the number one factor, regardless of a gym, is the working parts, is that you can assume nothing, right? You can assume, like, you can't assume like, oh, I've worked with that person for 3 years. They know what I'm thinking. Or, you know, the salesperson, like, they don't need my help. They're good. Like, how do you know? Like, are you measuring their success? Are you talking about it? Are they asking you for help? Like, are you changing offers? You know, if the attrition percentage is 10, 12%, like your product probably isn't that good. What are you doing to intervene? What are you doing to get ahead of product development? And if I had a gym with 150 members, I would have those 3 meetings every single week without fail. And I wouldn't miss for anything. Just the same way you never miss training sessions in the gym, we never miss meetings here. Our meeting structure now, with multiple locations and a lot more team members, is a little bit more complex. But like I said, you know, you get to a point where the coaches meeting is ran by your head trainer, right? Your sales huddle up is ran by your sales director, right? So there's things that can get delegated out as you grow. But if I had 150 members and I was in that business day in and day out, it would be facility leader huddle or stand up. It would be leadership team huddle up on Monday, coaches meeting on Wednesday or Thursday, and a digital check-in with the entire team every Friday or Saturday. That would be the pulse I would keep. And my good friend Joe Hashi, I think Carly actually came up with this, who runs all the marketing for Synergy. He always says, and he always enforces, clarity is kind. It is impossible to be clear and direct without giving people time and attention. So the minute you decide to hire somebody, that person becomes your number one focus. Their success is your success. Leadership is all about making sure people feel like they have the tools, resources, safety net, trust for them to grow and progress in your company. All right. All these people in your company need to be focused on metrics. The only way to be focused on metrics is if they're actually getting measured. So make sure we're measuring things in our meetings, such as leads, trials, attrition percentage, how many in-services we're having as a team, how many continued education credits we're acquiring as a team, how many reach outs we do as a unit to our clients on a weekly basis. Remember, we're in the accountability business. People can go rent, steal anywhere, right? We are in the accountability business. Are we keeping track of how many reach outs and touch points we're putting forth to our clients on a weekly basis? You have to have key performance indicators that get measured week in and week out. And if you do that, you will watch your business take it to the next level. If you don't make time for meetings, you will never be on the same page with your team. If you take one thing from this, anchor your meeting, have it no matter what, week in, week out, and watch your business grow. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hey, we don't ask a lot, but if you do like the show and you do listen on a weekly basis, if you wouldn't mind screenshotting it, put it on your social and tagging the Business of Strength so we could reshare it, that would be very much appreciated. If you want to come hang with us, like I said, you could come to any town hall first Wednesday of the month, or we have our 2-day full immersion experience November 30th and December 1st. We're going to have a packed house for that. I think we have 20 people coming here to Orangeburg for that. You could click the link in the show notes and register for that. It's only $500 for 2 full days of knowledge, guest speakers, networking with other coaches and fitness professionals. It's an awesome event, and I will break down in detail how these meetings work and the things that you could be doing to progress your gym business forward. All right, guys, speak to you soon. Later.